It's a bad situation here. I'm struggling to force back tears, knowing the kind of devastation that we have. To my right here is the school hall. We are at where I could categorize or call the ground zero or the epicenter. This is the school hall of Bethlehem Girls School here, Catholic school in Abulado off Lagos Ibadan Expressway. To my front is the school's dining hall. You can see how the roofs have been blown up. Look at that beam to the extreme. The force and the gravity and intensity of the explosion pulls down that beam, and it tells you what could have happened. And we understand that between the time it happened was the time between the prayer time and the dining and eating, and some people were also, some of the students, some of the girls were in this hall that has been dropped by the explosion. Something also is very interesting but very painful also. These buildings are not on fire. Most of the buildings that have been raised or that have been blown down or that have been raised down are not on fire. This is a clear case of explosion, and we're still trying to understand the relationship between the fire we see out there that is burning and the number of hundreds of houses around here that have been brought down, either their roofs blown open or their walls cracked. And to say that, I mean, some 400 students are boarded here. They live here. Those Catholic students, secondary school, Bethlehem Girls, were in this hall, and some of them in the hostel when this happened. We can't tell you how many of them are trapped. We can't tell you how many of them have been rescued, but there's a high level of casualty, we understand, and those around here and those in other houses are hoping that we can really not get this unlucky on a Sunday morning. I have some people, some stakeholders around here who also have been monitoring this event and trying to help us make a sense out of it. I would like to call the former chairman of Amuwo Duffy local government, someone who understands this vicinity and the topography of this area and what and how bad this situation is. If you don't mind, I'm corona free. If you don't mind. So, it's. First of all, I mean, how did this... You were one of the first guys who called me this morning to tell me that something has happened, even though I felt that vibration in my bathroom this morning.
Well, it's a very sorry case. I was on my bed checking on my mails, and suddenly...
And when you say your bed, can you help us describe how far that is from this place?
It's about 13 kilometers from here. About 13 kilometers from here. I was checking my mails, and it's about 9:02 a.m. this morning, and I felt that impact, like a strong wind force pushing you. And I thought initially was a big gas explosion, so I went to the balcony to check my neighbors around 3rd Avenue, and they said nothing. Then I looked at the social media immediately, one of the WhatsApp group, and my PA, Ibrahim, just sent an information that there's a pipeline explosion in Abule-Ado, and I looked at the fire, the way the smoke was coming out, and immediately I told people to calm down, that it looked like a petroleum pipeline explosion. Then immediately I ran down here to assess the damage. My mom called me from 7th Avenue, which is about 7 kilometers from here, that the windows of the house actually fell off the building.
What is this likened to in your experience?
Well, for me, we would want the expert to come in and assess the situation. But for now, the LASEMA are here. I've spoken with the Commissioner of Police, Lagos State, Mr. Odumosu. I've spoken with the RRS commander. In fact, he's here. I was with him not too long ago. We have jointly assessed the situation. There are so many federal agencies that are here. The Lagos State government is on top of the matter. I have walked around the terrain of this place and to the swampy area and mobilized the community leaders here and, of course, the traditional rulers, including the Bale here. Jointly, we have calmed the people down, that there's no cause for alarm, which you can see. I was instrumental to the only road that come in through this area, and I know this area like the back of my palms. So for now, everything is under calm.
Are there casualties?
Well, I saw some casualties that were taken to the hospital while I was coming here, but while I was checking situation on ground, I didn't see anything. Most people have been evacuated away from this point.
I'm a bit curious that we have too many houses, hundreds of houses here being destroyed without going up in flame.
Well, if you understand the dynamics of explosion, it doesn't really have to come with fire. But the epicenter of the explosion itself might be in flames. But the impact could go several miles, away from the epicenter of the explosion. Perhaps that is what happened, and that is what I think happened here. But that is not to say that the fatality of the orchestration of the explosion is out of this world.
All right. I must say thank you very much for talking to us. We are hoping that as the days go, hours run through, we'll be able to lay our hands on really what the situation is in terms of casualty and what it is in terms of number of houses and all of that, and hopefully that this crowd that we see here would continue to maintain the kind of peace.
I must say, we're talking to them.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So I mean, back to you, Ken. You can see what we have here. We'll be bringing you more updates as far as the fire and the explosion and the destruction and the casualty from this center is concerned. But we hope that it doesn't get worse than this.